welcome back to IP Farms. Well, it's another day here. I'm already started this morning, quite a ways actually. It's closer to lunch in the morning. Sweaty nasty already. It's going to be the video on the gooseneck trailer axle swap. Finally, after all these years, I'll put a link in a little card up at the top where we got started on this probably 2 years ago now. But I got a lot of stuff to move. Need to get it home in one shot. We got to get this trailer together. So bring you along for a few highlights best I can. Buddy's here helping me this morning for a little while. He's out moving the trailer in the shop here. I'll show you the axles, what we've already got done, and get you as much footage as we can. So see what we can do. Stay tuned. Well, here it is coming back in the shop for probably the 5th or 6th time with this whole axle situation. But we're gonna make it happen this time. Very tight working quarters. Oh, I need a bigger shop. But it's in here. We got rain coming in tonight, first of the week, so hopefully, guys, kind of like the truck, when this thing leaves out of here, it's going to be with a new 10,000 pound axles underneath it. New to me anyway. It's a project long time in the making. All right, well, we got those in. What an afternoon it's been. Didn't have the torches set up. Wish I had a plasma cutter. Everything was cut off with a cutting wheel. It's hot, I'm nasty, and I was laying on my back and I'm getting old. So ate up a lot that afternoon, but there it is. Only major thing that I don't like about it is the length of the front brackets there, how high it's gonna put my trailer deck off the ground. But you know, we'll see what happens with that. So I'll bring you back next week. Today's Saturday, of course. We'll address cutting that side brackets off over there. I may see if I can borrow a plasma cutter from a buddy of mine, at least get them whacked off quick and then grind down, because what I cut off, and I had to go back and spend about another 30 minutes grinding everything down smooth. But let me show you these axles right quick, and we'll move on to something else. All right, so I showed you that earlier. Of course, we've got all the sleeves to put on and more welding there. I just rolled those back. But right now my trailer deck is right around 40 inches. I don't like that. I was hoping to keep it between 32 and 36. The wheel and tire combo that I have and I was going to go with is 265, 80, 16. Probably going to drop that down substantially, see how much I can gain on a regular, you know, smaller tire without going all out on a low profile. And I also am going to check 15-inch 8-lug wheels and some smaller 15-inch tires. I'd love to get it back down around, like I said, 32, 36 inches. But that's the only thing. So it's been an afternoon, but it's coming along. We're a lot further along than what I had planned, honestly. So I'll get all this done this week, get the other side cleaned up. Next Saturday he'll come back. We'll get the other brackets measured up, squared up, tacked in. I'll weld those. So another Saturday or two, guys, and hopefully this thing will be ready to be used. I got to dress the deck. It's about rotten. At least we can hook it to the truck and say the axles are done finally. So stay tuned for more. I want to show you that setup in case you saw it in the last clip. Basically just a safety net. That's that big timber we've talked about before upstairs in the attic, spanned over all the rafters. Just in case something were to happen here with the jack stands. We've got 2 on the back. But you know, never be too careful, and there's a lot of time spent laying under this thing today and in the future. So anything were to happen, at least that chain hoist there will keep things from going really bad quick. So I'm going to show you guys that. All right, guys, we're going to get long-winded here for a second. We got the slug in, we cut the axle, moved it apart 20 inches. I think I'm 76 and 1/8 to the spring purchase, I believe, something like that. Don't quote me on that, I may have just said that wrong. Anyway, the slug goes in 16 and a half, 17 inches. So from here to here, we're completely solid up to this diameter, then we're adding on there. From here out, it's original axle. I ended up splitting the sleeves instead of one piece. Didn't want to cut the other spring hangers off, and they weren't long enough without pulling the hubs off and all that. I didn't want to go through that. So my thing is this: if if anything happens with these axles, it's going to be second to the first issue, which is going to be the trailer is probably going to be folded to the ground. I will never have anything on it that will even come close to testing these axles. I'll show you the plate here on them in a minute. Keep in mind, this wall of the axle tube itself is over 1/2 inch thick, and this is solid 2 7/8, I believe it is, on the inside. But anyway, I'll put you on some high speed here. We'll get a little bit of wire burn. I've got a lot to do. I'll get this situated, get the other spring hangers in and welded up, wait on my buddy to come back this weekend, help me with the other side, get the axles under there. You just saw I had to use the chain file to even get it up on here. They were heavy enough in sections, and there's no way I can pick them up now. So let's see what we can do. Well guys, there it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. 110,000 pound axle extended, slugged and sleeve in place, welded, ready to go in. All I've got to do is put the spring perches on like I talked about. My eyesight's getting really bad. Wish I had my buddy here to spin the axle as I was welding it, but it's not too bad. I've definitely done better. I've done a lot worse. I don't like welding that pipe back together like that, but it's not going anywhere. It's a whole lot more than I've ever done to any other axles, I can promise you that. None of the material is near as stout. So I'm tired. I'm gonna get another axle set up here, I think, for tomorrow, so I can jump on it right off the bat when I get here. I think what I'll do is just show you guys the hangers on the one side, weld those in, a little gussets I've got, and we'll probably wrap this video up after that on the trailer, and we'll get a clip of it coming out the shop. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're back for another day. I've already been up there welding the other axle. That's finished up. My slug and sleeves welded, so we're under here now. We've got the front and back beads welded on these hangers. But of course you can see that the hanger is wider than the 8-inch channel lip. Now when this trailer was built, I don't know if you can tell or not there, but this is a box with some I-beam and channel there. And basically what they did was to keep this, you know, where the axles go from twisting. So due to the fact that those are a little bit wider, we are going to add this piece of material there. It's the same thickness, 3/16 is what the hangers are. So basically it's welded here at the bottom, and then over here on the side that's a little wider, we're going to put this support and go back up to the top of the channel to kind of split the load there a little bit. So I'll bring you along for a little bit of that, and See what we can get into. I don't foresee you being able to see any of that footage, but there's that gusset in. That one's in. And that one's in. Let me get out from under the trailer before I knock my head off. I'm taking a break. But anyway, I finally rolled out from under the trailer there without knocking my head off. There's the front spring hanger. There's the middle one. And there's Jack. Give him a minute. And Mom and Dad just pulled up. Bless his heart. He gets so excited. And there's the back one. So basically we're finished up. The axles welded up, slug and sleeve, both of them. So all we've got to do now is do the other side, same thing here. Then slide the axles under here, get everything measured up, tack the spring perches on, and then I'll probably just take the front bolts out of the springs there, roll them on the floor, weld that up solid, get the U-bolts bolted in, get my tires put on the wheels, call this unit good as far as the axles. So let me get up, get a few things straightened out, and we'll probably just wrap this one up. Alright guys, we're going to wrap this one up and call it good. Trailer axle swap is pretty much complete. A little bit more welding, bolt them under there, change the tires, we're good to go. Then we got to put a floor in it. Nice. But anyway, it's been a long time in the making. I think over 2 years, I believe. But I'm going to do a playlist. I'll put that in the description of the video. If you want to click on there to see from day one when I got the axles, explanation as to why we did it, cost, all that good stuff. Keep in mind they're old videos, so they're very cringy. Not that these are much better now, but anyway. Everything went great. Don't have any complaints. Very easy to do, actually. One of the easier situations. Most of the time, like I said before in past videos, it's been the mobile home axles that I've shortened or lengthened or whatever the case. Most of the time you have to shorten those from what they are. But I feel comfortable with it. Like I said, I think if anything ever happens to these axles, we're going to have a whole lot more trouble with the trailer than we are the axles. So in case anybody's wondering, one of the reasons I went with such a big axle in the very beginning 2 years ago was because I had the L8000 road tractor. Had visions of needing to move the 1086, bigger equipment here to the farm, whatever the case may be. Of course, we don't have that truck anymore. The weakest Tapwater 5.4 Ford is not going to pull a whole lot as far as weight, but if I ever upgrade again, get a bigger truck or whatever, we've got the trailer for it. So I'm glad I ended up doing it. I think that's it. I believe I'll just get a clip of pulling it out of the shop and show you guys kind of an overview of what everything looks like, how it's set up. I think I'm going to have to do a little hitch movement on it for the service truck, because I think it's going to sit up, you know, substantially higher than it did before, which 6 one way, half a dozen the other. It's not the end of the world by any means, other than hauling something like a combine, but we'll see. So thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate you following on the journey with me. If you're new here, thank you for that as well. All the new subscribers, the guys have been with me from the beginning. Can't say thank you enough. If any of you is interested in merchandise, I'll put a link in the description to Mad Moose Designs, IP Farms. Got hats, shirts, decals, pennies on the dollar stuff. So go check that out if you're interested, and we'll see what happens over the next couple of days, guys. Till then, thank you.